I want to take you through a little journey of why I'm so passionate about forgiveness and why I'm recording all this. When you have issues that you've not healed, you've not dealt with, you cannot see. You are blinded, you cannot see at all, at all. I remember a time, a moment came when one day, now as a married person, we had a little argument with my wife, and man, I held her. One of the things I made vows to, that I will never beat my wife. I saw some of my uncles beat their wives, and I said, never, never, never. And so that day, when quickly I realized my demons had woken up, that was a light bulb. Then another moment when my wife came to me and told me, "Han, you're losing your voice. You're losing your voice. You're harsh. Your voice is so high tone, and you're controlling." And I'm like, what? But this is who I am. And I will tell you why for me it was normal and it was okay. Even in the ministry as a pastor, I was a no-nonsense person. When the Bible says it, you do it. You don't do it, you got to walk out. You know, this fellowship people was so easy for me, as though the church belongs to me. You know, where you use the Bible now to hack people, to kill people. And that was my life. But I want to take you through my rotten past, literally, that attributed to all this. As I was growing up as a young person, what happened? I was molested by one of the caretakers who was taking care of us, and, you know, trying to teach me how to have sex at a very early age. And that's about at 8 years old. I didn't know what it was, but she would do that with me. And what happened, I also found myself trying to start playing the same with the children. But quickly I noticed that there was something wrong. At that particular moment, my mother had traveled somewhere else. She was not with us. And that's the time I was being molested. You understand? Thereafter, because as we grew up, my dad had all the money. Literally, as a young person, we'd eat and go anywhere we wanted. He was a football coach, but he lost his money when a friend of his, I believe, I was told, conned him. And the moment he was conned of his money, my father got confused and never the same again. So literally, we'd move from town life to up country, and I saw my mom suffer working for people to be able to put food on the table. And she also had asthma, so you would hear her wheezing. She has no medication. I remember a memory you never forget, a time when now my brother Aston, my late brother Aston, was having measles, but we didn't even have money to take him to hospital. He died, and I buried him. I went, dug the grave myself. It was one of those painful memories. And at that particular moment, one of my uncles would come and tell me, "No, you cannot dig the grave by yourself." It was soft soil. And so that what was happening. Then he helped me a bit, and we ended up burying him. Those are memories you never forget. I remember one day when now my mom went over to look for my dad somewhere, to look for where my dad was. And so we were left with my stepmother and my grandmother and a few other aunties. And one day I remember when I was falsely accused, and they said it is me who did it. I felt like I was good for nothing. I had no father to defend me. I had no mother to defend me. That day, literally, I had heard in the neighborhood that one guy took a knife and killed himself. And I said, it is not good to continue living. So I took a knife to go kill myself. Every moment, even to date, when I see a knife similar like that, it torments me. It tortures me. And when I went over, then reality came home, because I would go to church. I was a devoted prayerful person. And I said, no. Is it worth dying for people? And I said, no, I didn't do that. And then at the end of it all, even my school fee, my dad could not pay. He never paid my school fee. So my grandmother would go and sell beans for people, and that is how I survived in school. Half of my schooling of secondary, I was up country, in the home, not going to school, taking care of cows, because we had no money. I am forever grateful for my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather would come from work, and whatever little he has, he distributes in different houses. At that time, our fathers are not there. But guess what? With the moment I became a pastor, the moment I started touching my wife, I thought I would beat her up. The moment I saw my children going and running away from me, and we're not having a relationship, the moment I saw the church members begin to describe me as one who's the harshest person, at that time you think you're glorifying God, but not really true. It was my old past that was coming in. That Then I joined a counseling team, counseling group, and the more I went through therapy, the more my eyes opened into what I had become. Guess what? One of my friends, who's a good friend, would confront me and tell me, listen, he's a counselor. You need to deal with your past. I think you have issues. When I went to him, so I confessed to him every detail of what was going through my life, and he sent me back. I remember sitting down with my mom and dad and taking my mom and dad through every stage. And man, they apologized. My dad apologized. And we are such good friends with my dad. He called me fellow old man. And then I needed to go talk to my stepmother. For it was in my stepmother's house where I was molested. And there are things also that she had done which we had not dealt with. So there was a distance, there was not a good relationship between me and her. We sat down and we talked. And quickly she told me, my son, I did things in ignorance. I didn't know. For me, I thought I was simply being a mother. There's a particular statement one day when my mom had left going to look for my dad. And she said, she would tell us, oh, your mom and dad has died. They've died. Man, we were tormented now knowing that I am a fatherless, I'm a motherless person. I'll be mistreated, continuously being molested. By the time my mother was coming, I was so thin and sick. She didn't know what happened, but she just took me. Seeing my mom was like seeing the eyes of an angel coming back. And I gave her a hug, and I was not letting her go. No, I wasn't. At that young age. So all those trauma, when I took her through, I explained to her, man, all she did just told me, I'm so sorry. I dealt with you like a foolish human. Because I would see you, sucking your hand all the time. So I thought telling you that would help you to overcome. She did not know what she was doing. So of course we forgave each other. We talked, gave her a hug. She's a good friend of mine also of late. And that's what I'm able to share. Apart from that, there are those moments when I was falsely accused, even by people in the village. And there's nothing I could do. So what happened as I grew up, now that I have muscles and I'm old, I was going to defend myself at all costs. But little did I know that what was done to me is what now I was doing to people using the Bible. I was doing to people in my marriage, with my children. A moment came, a moment of reckoning, a moment of waking up. And that moment is when I had a brain tumor. When God wants to straighten you, God straightens you in his own ways. It took me through a tormentous, torturing moment. Prayed for God to remove that brain tumor. It never worked out. I had to go for surgery. When I went for surgery in one of the hospitals in Kenya, I literally lost my life. To a point I told God, it's okay. It's okay. Many stories, they're there in another video. If you want, I can send it to you. And that particular moment, then quickly I realized life does not belong to me. I'd left ICU, now feeling better. When I come to HDU, the medication, drugs that have been injected in me as well were not working well. I developed a heart condition. I remember one day sitting with my mom, and she was right there with me. My wife was praying in Arboretum, and I told my mom, now I'm giving a bye because my spirit was ebbing away, and I knew I was so much at peace, at fresh and all that. Told my mom, please take care of my wife, the properties I have, take care of them and all that. And I remember what I cared the most that I told my mother was my wife and my children. And my mother rebuked me, you're not leaving me with a widow, young widow. No! Tell that God who you've served over the years that I need you back. And I told her, okay, mommy. Gently, just like nothing. And I prayed. After praying, all the machines came back and I was back. That's how God works. But when I left that hospital quickly, what came to my mind, I should not fix my wife the way I was trying to fix my wife. I should not fix my children. Instead, the greatest of them all was love. So I repented. I surrendered my life in the hand of God. And that's what has made me who I am. That's how I'm reaching out to you. Because I know what a broken past can do to a marriage. What a broken past can do to relationship. What a broken past that is not healed can indeed do to all, even Mother Universe. People who do terrorism, what are they doing? Simply, it is their past that brings them to who they are. They've been trained and trained into who they are to do what they do. And so most likely you become a small terrorist for your family. I don't know. And so I pray that the next clips, the ones I've recorded right there, that I'm going to present, give to you about forgiveness, will help to empower you, that I'm not only talking from a knowledge point of view, but I'm talking from an experience as one who's gone through it and one who has overcome and still overcoming some of those wounds, and as one now who, they call it a wounded healer. And so the things I'm telling you, they work. The Bible works. I have my peace. I have my joy. God bless you. God bless you. So please consider supporting this ministry. It's a free ministry giving to everybody in the entire universe. We have CoachOwidi.org. There's a support link there. Please go over and send something small. But please also watch the series on forgiveness. As you watch them, make sure you put them into practice. God bless you. CoachOwidi.org. God bless you. Thank you.